Hey flower buds, and welcome to another episode of Mindful Mondays. Today's episode is going to be around grounding, and grounding is a really good technique for any time that you're trying to catapult yourself back into the present moment. That can be to escape anxiety or PTSD or really just trying to drop into the present moment. 5 things you can do are so subtle that people won't even realize that you're doing them. So let's get right into it. This first technique I like to use in emotionally charged situations. Situations where people are in lower vibrational frequencies than you would care to be in. Simply touching your heart. That single motion first connects to yourself, right? And where all of those emotions are bubbling up. So firstly, for yourself, you're saying, this is real, this is happening, and it's okay. The second piece of that is for you to also show that you're connecting to that person. It's a universal sign of love and understanding and even being empathetic. And so this is endearing both to yourself and to the person you're talking to. So it's one of my favorites. I use it a lot. The second one is just lightly tap my nose. And usually when I do that, I start to make a silly face. If you're someone who deals with anxiety, I really enjoy this one. It's just a fun, quirky little thing to do. And while an anxiety attack can seem like it's the worst thing happening in that moment, it actually takes you out of that because it's like, boop, this has nothing to do with the emotions that are going on right now. I do this while I'm shopping. I have done this while I'm trying to think of how to solve an issue, just to remind myself that nothing's that serious and I have everything I need, and sometimes it's just a little silliness. The third one is a little bit more involved. You won't be moving or jittering, I promise, but it will require your mind and your body to integrate. Of course, you start with the breath. 1 full deep breath. And then you can allow yourself to start taking that rhythmic cycle of breath and sending awareness to certain parts of your body. So I start at the tips of my toes, all the way up. If you're subscribed to my newsletter, I'll actually put that whole meditation within it. I'll put links down below where you can get the newsletter. It's free. So this body scan just puts you in a place where you feel steady and stable and in control of your inner environment. Our fourth little grounding exercise is your posture. I know, crazy, right? That's one, if you don't believe in, making yourself look like a little bit of a dork, or, don't really care for this one, or the body scan is just too much for you, check on your posture. Just a slight lift, like there's a little string coming up from the middle of your chest. So the last grounding exercise, after you have come into your body with touch as well as with just integration of the mind and the body and the breath, you can also just leave. I know, crazy, right? How is it grounding if you leave where you're at? What the heck is up with that? You have done everything you can to integrate yourself into that present moment, and there is still something within you saying, you know what? I think we should leave. Listen, being able to leave is such a beautiful grounding technique because it says, I know what my inner world calls for, what it looks like, and what it feels like. And this outer environment does not match that. So, peace out. You're allowed to do that. Like you show up to the party and you're like, hey, what's up? You're there for a few minutes, you're dancing. If you're in tune and your higher self is strongly suggesting that you should leave, there might be a reason. Always know that there is a choice. When you're in the present moment, you will know. You will know, you will feel it, and you'll know after you make that choice because you'll feel happy. And you won't need any validation from any outer source because you'll know it's right in your heart. I'll be honest with you, I did this recently. I thought I was kind of lame because it was like 11 o'clock and I was leaving the party. But like, I didn't care for it, and that's okay. I'm allowed to say that, and I'm allowed to do that. You are not meant for every single place. You are not meant for every single person. That higher discernment is part of you coming into your own, and you get to own that. You get to be that, and you get to do that. Don't ever let anybody take that away from you. So thank you so much, guys. It was really a treat to be able to bring you some of my favorite grounding exercises, some of which I have actually used when I was, healing myself of anxiety. And right here, right now, in the almighty now, is all that we need. Grounding yourself and being able to see exactly where you ought to be is how we stay connected with that inner grace and allow it to come into fruition in this world. I am so grateful to have every single one of you flower buds watching, listening, subscribing, all of those things. So find me on social media, subscribe to the newsletter so you can get these grounding exercises in your inbox. I don't know what I'm doing. And we have a lot of fun on here on YouTube, but you can also find me on Instagram and Twitter and Tumblr, and I do a whole lot of stuff. Just look for the links, okay? Okay. I'll see you next time here in the garden.